A baying train left Lucy's halls. At morning comes with bugle calls. That long, airy, mournful train returned to Lucy's halls again. They went with hound and spear and bow to lay the prowling wild wolf low. They came with hound and bow and spear, and one Fedor to on her bier. Her prancing palfrey starting wide, she galloped from Lord Lucy's side. A fearless huntress, proud and bold, and fair as Dian's self of old. The quarry crossed a lover's view, he led the chase with shrill halloo. Through brakes and firs by stream and dell, no stopped until the quarry fell. Far off aloud rang out his horn, the triumph of the echoes born. Long ere the listening maid drew rein, to woo it to her ear in vain. Far off farther rang the horn, farther echoes seemed to mourn. From Wilton's high and forest rude, and all the Copeland solitude. Gunilda now so far astray stood where the broad before her lay, and singing on in gladness there she passed beside the shearwolf's lair. Protection of her startled young, the wild wolf on Gunilda sprung. The wolf made wreck of peerless form, heart with bounding life so warm. They found her, but their words were woe. Woe to the bank where thou liest low. Woe to the hunting of this day. They left thy limbs to wolf a prey.
The DHL man, black plastic packages, fretful face, rings and waits. 1, 2, 3 and back in the van. Grunwilda watches from the top of the tall ash tree at the castle gate. The crow perches beside her. "Fuck off, bird," says Grunwilda, and gathers her poor dead limbs around her. She's been here a long time, has a song for every bird, child, shop, mine shaft and blade of grass. The DHL van is gone. She turns her face to Florence Mine and sings. Winding wheel in the sky, an eye gazing out over a red town, a real town, easily bypassed, a place on the edge of the fells, the lakes, on the edge of an atomic past, built on shifting, slipping, honeycomb soil, bogs and boreholes, the uncertainty of ground beneath your feet. Only trust yourself and your maras. The crow says nothing. Grunwilda in the lacework of boreholes and shafts deep below the town. She considers water, the way it will maintain such marvellous equilibrium, hold itself suspended between push and drag, ebb and flow. She wonders at the deathly stillness of it down here, when above the surface the wind blows a hoolie and the sea's rolling in thick as treacle. What water wants, water gets. She thinks of springs and holy wells, water seeping, roaring, flooding field and pit, water wanting, water rising, filling the gaps in memory. A person, her lord, a day, that day, the stink of those creatures. Red water floats long strands of hair, lifts them from her face, and Grunwilda smiles, glad of water's kindness, the way it soothes her sundered body, bathes her poor dead limbs.
Follow the lawn and go to the trot. Meet me at the trot. Go down the trot. Follow the trot. Go to the lawn and meet me at the lawn and go down the lawn and follow the lawn and go to the trot. Meet me at the trot. Go down the trot. Follow the trot. Follow the lawn and meet me at the lawn and meet me at the lawn and follow the lawn and go to the trot. Meet me at the trot. Go down the trot. Follow the trot. Go to the lawn and meet me at the lawn.
It's the narrowness of them. Paths just wide enough for one person to tread. They fill Grunwilda with a sadness that makes her ache for them all. Don't talk. Don't walk side by side. Keep your head down. You've work to do. Don't talk. Don't walk side by side. Keep your head down. You've work to do. Don't talk. Don't walk side by side. Keep your head down. You've work to do.
Go to the trot. Meet me at the trot. Go down the trot, follow the trot, go to the lawn and meet me at the lawn and go down the lawn and follow the lawn and go to the.
She tracks the tracks, follows the path from fell to town, from town to pit, then till now. The sly, on the quiet, secret ways of rum smugglers, lanes keeping away from the A595, the county lines kids with the LSD and Ket. Bessie Lonning, Anchor Lonning, Limekiln Lonning, St Helena Lonning, Fergie's Lonning, Parrock's Lonning, Walborough Nook Lonning, Marlborough Lonning, Watery Lonning, Green Lonning, Slattery Lonning, Quat Yat Lonning, Harper's Wood Lonning, Burkham's Lonning, Hannamua Lonning, Cabbage Hall Lonning, Head Lonning, Red Lonning, Rakes Lonning.
Go down the trot, follow the trot, go to the lawn and meet me at the lawn and meet me at the lawn and follow the lawn and go to the trot. Meet me at the trot, go down the trot,
Ankle Lonning,
the trot,
Limekiln
to
Lonning,
the lawn and
Watery Lonning, Green
Lonning,
Lonning, Harper's Wood Lonning,
go to the trot,
Head Lonning, Red Lonning, Rakes Lonning. Bessie Lonning, Ankle Lonning, Limekiln Lonning, Watery Lonning, Green Lonning, Harper's Wood Lonning, Head Lonning, Red Lonning, Rakes Lonning, Rakes Lonning. The wolves closing, her husband calling her name, men crashing through trees and all of them calling and calling, and she's trying to answer, please, words choked and choking. Rakes lonning, and the way she almost knew them, their red mouths recognised them as the taste of iron filled her throat.
Once upon a time I saw a poster of a general pointing straight at me, and the words below him shouted out that a soldier I should be. Yes, a soldier now, that was a thought I'd never had before. I didn't fight, I'd never fought, least of all ever been to war. But myself and many others decided to heed the call, and through the tears of wives and mothers we trooped off all proud and tall. As mates from the villages and towns all over these sceptred isles, we marched away together laughing, but wizened frowns soon replaced our naive smiles. In the trenches, the filth, the blood, the stench of death all around. Half me mates already gone for good, disappeared into the ground. This was not how we expected it to be when we joined up to fight the Hun. We all believed that we'd soon see home again after a bit of fun. But fun, we've learned, has no place on these killing fields of France. The games played here are all based in death's macabre dance. And in the morning with the rising sun, once more we go over the top to face the bullets from the machine gun, which are relentless and never stop. The bullets that cut down men like the scythe that cuts the corn. And they keep sending us again and again. I now wish I'd never been born. I wish I'd never been born to see the terrible things I've seen and done. I wish I'd never been born to be sent here to have some fun. You'll all be home for Christmas, the recruiting sergeant said. But here we are months later, and most of us are already dead. Victims of the bullet, the gas, the bayonet, shell and bomb. And in the morning we go en masse to attack the enemy on the Somme.
Remembrance Day matters. Wreaths from church and council, scouts and school. People turn out in great numbers, hundreds at the War Memorial along the street to watch. Memory, time, people. Grunwilder draws her poor limbs close, chooses to remember sandstone and sediment, remembers her way to the coast where her dead fingers trace names in the rock. JB, 61, MJ, C. Craven, 1970, TKB, 1974, SM, J. Pot, TCM, KC, WJM, 1974. People make their marks, says Grunwilder, leave traces, and her torn limbs pain her a little less.
Take hematite mineral, the local paint made, the Florence paint maker, Jenny proclaimed. There's red and there's red and there's redder than red. You can have any color as long as it's red. Agramont red, Agramont red, Agramont red, Agramont red. And now we have stone that we found in St. Bees. We've colors aplenty, choose any you please. There's red and there's yellow and red. You can have any color that's yellow or red. St. Bees yellow, Agramont 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 red. Agramont red. Agramont red.
This is a place of poets, painters, potters, photographers and pen pushers, says Grunwilder to the Crow. Some days the town is Egremont red, other days it's St. Bees yellow. She hums colour to the Crow. The Crow turns its back. Today, though, a low cloud, slow air, nothing doing kind of day. Today is brown. The colour of a Greg's pasty, she tells the Crow. Grunwilder up on the fell looking down over the town. Separated from the pack, hunkered down, riddled by forgotten shafts, an underground maze made to exploit the land. Tearing out, breaking up, to bring wealth to the wealthy, leave the rest never knowing when a borehole might open up, ground gash open, and they'll all fall through layers of earth and rock. They'll fall and keep on falling. Staff only. Shaft
Signals.
The following signals shall be used at all times in connection with winding in shafts. Man descending. When a person is about to descend, the banksman shall signal to the winding engineer and to the onsetter.
Before the person enters the cage, the setter
Shall signal
to the banksman
the engine man.
when the cage at the bottom is clear and ready to ascend, the onsetter
shall signal to the banksman and the winding engine man.
when the person is in the cage and ready to descend,
When the person
the
in the
banksman
cage
shall signal to the
is
winding
ready to
engine man
descend, the banksman shall signal
stop when in motion.
Men ascending.
When a person is about to descend,
the
the
onsetter
onsetter
shall signal to the
Banksman and the winding
engine man. Before the person enters the cage, the banksman shall signal to
The
the
onsetter.
when the person
when the
is
person
in the cage,
And
ready to
the
ascend
onsetter shall signal to the banksman
and to the winding engine man.
When the banksman has received the signal.
Aye!
Aye!
From the onsetter he shall signal to the winding engine man to stop
When
in
motion.
Winding without persons. To raise up. To lower down.
To stop when in motion.
To raise
Steadily.
to
To
lower.
lower steadily. Not more than
persons allowed to descend or ascend
at one time
in
each cage.
to stop when in motion.
Stop
Stop
when
when
in motion.
to stop when
Winding engine man.
shaft signals.
Stop motion in motion. The banksman, the onsetter, the winding engine man.
The following signals shall be used at all times in connection with winding shafts.
When the banksman has received the signal, I
To stop when in motion, to raise steadily to pass steadily, not more than persons allowed to descend or ascend at one time in each case.
Some go, some stay, says Grunwilder to the crow. The crow doesn't answer, busy as it is with the wind in the top of the ash tree at the castle gate. Some go, she says again. They move away to Manchester or London. Some of them come back, the hematite in their hearts pulling them home. And some stay. Held safe between Clint's brow, fell and sea, family supports driven hard into sandstone, deep-mined and anchored with the iron force of pride. This place is a kind of island, a strange harbour stranded inland, where folk can moor up, ride out any storm. Everything you might want or need is here. You know who you are. You can look back through never-forgotten grudges and liaisons, know that you're a part of it. This place holds itself steady in the tearing wind. Yan, Tan, tethering people to the land.